It's one cold, wet winter's day outside. As far as my kitchen cabinets are concerned, they're all finished. There is one more coat to go on top of this countertop. Just a bit of caution to throw out to you. This really isn't for the DIY. Finishing kitchen cabinets, it's all oil-based product. It does take some experience with a brush, particularly with what I've done here in these kitchen cabinets, and that is I used a pigmented varnish. Without brush experience, you will not get this looking right. And I am really pleased with what I've done here. It's the first time I've ever used that type of pigmented varnish. It actually makes it look a little bit like driftwood, or at least in my mind. The second coat, after it's been sanded of course, has been just a clear coat. So I didn't do the pigmented varnish twice. Now I've brushed these like I've brushed this entire little tiny house. And it's to show DIYs that what can be done with just a paintbrush. In the old days, I would have lacquered this entire project because everything has just got 2 coats of clear on it. Back home, we would have masked everything off. We would have put sanding sealer and then 1 or 2 coats of lacquer. And the time savings would be ginormous. But look, I'm not set up like that anymore. So we've brushed it. And it does show to the DIY that it can be done with just a brush. But enough of that. Let me show you how I've gone through and put a finish on all these cabinets. Hi, I'm Rick, and as a lot of you know, I'm building a tiny house. It's been probably almost a year in the making, and today is the day I start to put a finish on the kitchen cabinets. At the moment, they're just raw timber. But why am I holding a hammer and a slotted screwdriver? It's actually pretty simple. These 2 tools are going to help me keep everything organized. I'm going to show you from A to Z how to put a finish on wooden cabinet doors. Now inside I've got melamine, so it's already like a pre-finish, factory pre-finish. Nothing to do, it's all done. Timber cabinets can have so many different finishes on them. They can have water-based enamels, oil-based enamels, clear finishes, which include polyurethanes, varathanes, varnishes. There's just so much. So I'm simply just going to show you how I'm going to refinish wooden cabinet. So I'm going to number each door. I've got 15 doors and I got 4 drawers. And it's like reading a book from left to right, top to bottom. So this is my left, number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and so forth. Come back down and number those. And on the doors, it'll just be simply 1, 2, 3, 4. That's because I've got a little kitchen. On a larger kitchen, you're definitely going to want to draw a little diagram of maybe even each wall, where the cabinets are, put in, sink, those sorts of things, so you know. Because when you do have a lot of cabinet doors and they're the same size or very close to the same size, it gets very confusing when it comes to putting everything back in its place. Do not paint these in situ. You want to take the doors off. You want to take every last little bit of hardware off your kitchen cabinetry. Is I just put the screws back into the handles. It seems monotonous, maybe a bit anal you might think, but I just throw these in a box somewhere. Now if you don't know enough about these hinges or anything about these hinges, these sorts of hinges, they just snap off from the back. Just as simple as that. But you'll notice I haven't done that with these cabinets here. I've actually taken off from the actual cabinet door, and there's a big reason for that. These hinges, there's different ways to adjust them, and they come in and out. They go this way. And there's for a reason. So you can line up the gaps and everything, make it look nice and perfect. So if you were to take these off like this, and then go up to your workshop or whatever, each hinge that you do put back on to a cabinet door, it's going to be a different hinge. It's going to be adjusted differently so that when you put your door back on there, God, who knows how it's going to be, because it's adjusted for a different door. Now, that's not the end of the world. You can readjust it, and you're going to play around with it quite a bit. But this is the reason why I take off the hinge and leave the hinge on the cabinet, the carcass cabinet itself. So when this goes back on, and I put that back on where it's supposed to be, it's already lined up and adjusted exactly how I had it before I took everything off.